What's going on, guys? I'm back and I'm out in nature. So it's Friday morning right now. It's about 8 o'clock, and do you know what? I work in the same day industry, which means everything is not everything, but predominantly things need doing on that same day. It's rushed, it's last minute. You have to be on it and on point at any time. I thought, right, I've had a real busy week, good week. And I thought, no, I'm not driving today anyway, because we've got some meetings, we've got some good stuff going on from the office. So I was like, cool, drop my boy off at nursery. Haven't slept in properly in 3 or 4 nights. I got a bit more sleep last night, but my little lad has been unwell. However, there's no excuses. No matter what, I'm still going to get up. I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to do all the things I need to do, no matter how I'm feeling. And that's been drilled into me from quite a young age, really. And I'm implementing that into my little boy now as well. And he's definitely doing really well with that, because even though he's really not that great. Do you want to go to Levi? Do you want to go to nursery, Levi? Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. UK? Yes, Daddy. Go to nursery, Daddy. So he's learning, which is brilliant. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to come up. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go for a walk. And I'm going to get some fresh air, because sometimes when you're running the business, especially when it's so chaotic as mine, and so when I say chaotic, I mean fast paced. It's very, very fast paced. That sometimes it's actually better to take a step out and think about things from a holistic perspective. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I live in the countryside anyway. My office is just back there. So it's very handy for me to get out and walk. And I find I never used to do this, but now I just get up and I go out. And even if it's half an hour, even if it's an hour, it just allows me to think about the business, think about where we're going, think about what we're doing, think about what we've done, think about where we're headed. We've just had the first quarter just done, so we've just paid the VAT for that. Thinking about, right, how could we have improved? What could we be doing better? A lot's happened in this past quarter, so I'm now planning, or I have been planning anyway, prior, right, what's the next quarter? What's the next quarter? And I'm looking into this next one and the next one, going into then the new year. Right, okay, what we're doing differently? How are we gonna change? How are we gonna grow? We've had a couple of drivers in. We got rid of one. We've got another driver at the moment who's doing really well. I've got another one that's on the cards. So I'm like, right, okay, how do we optimize for that? How do we continue to grow the business, but also not just from a driving perspective, collection and delivery, but also from a freight forwarding, because I'm starting to do quite a lot of that now as well, which is really, really cool. Really, it balances a lot of things out. It reduces the costs, and that's a big thing for us. Fuel, I think it's at least £100 a day per van. So if you operate in for say 20 days a month, that's £2,000 per month per van. So you start adding that up, that's a lot. You got your insurances, a lot of cost in this game. However, obviously there needs to be a margin, and you always want the margin to be good enough that you can eat, that you can grow, but also that it's cost efficient to your clients. So that's where we're working on now. The website's done, that's brilliant. The ads are really working well. And now it's a case of, right, we've got the SEO as well. We've got to keep running that. The next quarter is a case of just running that week by week, maybe bi-monthly. We'll have a look into that, see what we can tweak, see what we can do better, see what keywords are working better, see what the dog is, little poodle. Go on, bub. She's coming. And it's constant. It's just constant tweaking, perfecting, making better, optimizing. And you've got to be running the business as well as growing it. And when you set up a new business, no matter what industry you're in, obviously I'm career logistics, you have to be everything. You have to be recruitment, sales, marketing, operations. You have to be making the big decisions. You have to be cost saving. Like, there's so many procurement, there's so many different departments. Sometimes you have to be a bit of HR, I just don't like, but you have to do it, because you've got people working for you, with you. You might have subcontractors. You've got to make sure that everything's right. They're wearing the high vis, their safety boots, everything's on point, that they're turning up, that the vans are clean, that they're talking to the customers correctly. Go on this way, good girl, this way. So it's always changing, it's always moving, and you just have to be ready for anything, And it is a, come on girl, good girl. It's a 24/7 operation that we run, because we get requests at all hours, okay? So I had a request on Sunday at 4 p.m. came through on email. So they'd obviously been on they'd seen an ad, they'd probably Googled courier service or something near me, came through, and I can see that keyword, by the way, I can go back and check that. And it came through, and she's like, oh, I need a key moving from Edinburgh down to Gloucester. Can you collect it like tonight, and can you deliver it tomorrow? I was like, yeah, cool, no problem, we'll do that. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, we'll do that. So I sorted it out. I got a driver on site, then about 35 minutes. So our average time is between 30 to 60 minutes. So from when the client puts a request for you through to then us having a driver on site, it's 30 to 60 minutes anywhere in the UK now. There's not many people that can do that. There's not many businesses that can operate like that. We can. So I had the driver there, 35 minutes, collected the key, and he then obviously kept that safe. And then first thing early in the morning, he was going down that way anyway. So he was able to bring that key down to Gloucester, which was the delivery point. The time that we'd agreed was before 1 o'clock. So she was like, right, cool, 1 o'clock, it's fine. We got there at like 11:15, so we were early on that as well. The reason for the key, okay, is that there was a cat in the house that only had a small amount of food left. Seems a bit random, I know. She was in another country, keys in Edinburgh, cat's in Gloucester, and we had to get this key down. So we did it in record time. We got it done, and she was over the moon. She left the best review as well. Best review on Google, which was really nice, because that's what we do. We go above and beyond. You know, we specialize in the business to business, really. You know, it's the pallets, it's the machines, it's the moves, it's the big stuff. However, we do the residential as well, which is different. And yes, it's always interesting. So that was really cool. We've had quite a few residential leads come through, which we've done. Random loads, which you would have seen in some of the other videos, moving a fishing rod, keys. It's all urgent stuff. So anything that's urgent that needs doing like there and then, that's what we'll do. For residential, that is. For commercial, predominantly it is that. However, we do next day scheduled. I've got a new client that's starting next week, which is to do with wheels and tyres. So that's going to be super cool. Really, really looking forward to that one, because it's pallets, it's wheels and tyres on pallets. Things like Range Rover tyres, wheels that get like powder coated, cleaned up, and then you're going from site to site, or from my client to the customer, who could be Manchester, Liverpool, could be anywhere. So that's going to be a cool contract that we're starting. But today is really a case of, I've got a meeting with the accountant shortly, and strategizing, planning, marketing. I paid all, because it's the 1st of November now, so I paid all the subcontractors, which was yesterday. So they're all paid. VAT returns paid. Yeah, things are going in the right direction. So all is good. I went to Cornwall yesterday, Cornwall and back. There's a YouTube short, check that one out. Did I get stranded? Did I get back? Obviously I got back. But did I get a job back is the question, because we normally like to have pre-booked. So if we're going somewhere, we like to have something to come back. However, if we don't, we do use a courier exchange to get back. Now, does it always work? No, it doesn't always work. Is it beneficial most of the time? Yeah, it is. It's decent, to be fair. We also put work on there as well. So say we've got a huge surplus of work, then we can also speak to service providers that we use, and then they come in and they help us out. So good day ahead. It's Friday. My little lad's at nursery. I've done a nice walk. Got a meeting with the accountant. Got a meeting with a new client. And the rest of the day will be operating the business. So marketing, sales, ringing up any leads that come through, sorting out any loads that need doing. We're in a good spot. So always obviously can improve. We can always do better. And today is more of a reflection day on, right, let's just make sure we're going in the right direction. Let's make some tweaks. Let's make some tweaks, and let's figure out what the next move is and how we tackle the next step, because we've now got November, and you've also got to think that we're going straight into December. Now, December, for us, I believe it's going to be mental. But we'll have to wait and see. So I need to plan, I need to prep for that, because I've got a fair few clients now. Obviously not a humongous client base where, you know, we have hundreds of staff. We're not anywhere near that yet. However, we will be, because that is the plan. And I have a 5-year plan on that. So yeah, I need to strategize and plan, because I could literally have my 1 or 2 or 3 of my clients turn around and go, we need X amount of runs every day, we need 10 pallets a day moving, we need this and this. And I need to be in a position where I can operate that and do that correctly. Because one thing in logistics and courier services you do not want to get wrong is timings, because everything's time sensitive. Also the fact that you need to be operating correctly, because you don't want to book things wrong. You know, a little simple thing like booking something on the wrong day will mess everything up. I mean, I've got a few pre-books already for November. We've just started November, it's the 1st. I got some 7.5 ton lorries that I needed by my clients. So I've already pre-booked those. But just making sure everything is on point at all times, because I can't let things go. Like, it's my name, like it's SPF, that's my company that, you know, I'm building. And like, you know, if you don't know my story, there's quite a lot to it, but to make it in a simple form, like, I've failed at a lot of businesses. Like, I have literally messed up 6, 7, 8 businesses, as in I just didn't have the experience at the time. Now I have it, and don't get me wrong, I'm still picking up and still learning, but I have enough to really bring in and like focus now for growth, you know, and not just overnight growth. I'm looking for that long-term growth. I'm looking for that 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I want to have this business in 40 years. Okay, that's where I'm at. I'm studying people right now, somebody right near me, a couple of older boys, been in business. One of them's been in for 42 years. One of them's been in business for 50 years. And I'm like, right, I need to study these guys. Like, things were different back then. One of the guys who's been in business for 50 years, big transport company, massive one, very, very cash rich, asset rich, doesn't have any money, doesn't have any of that. He never borrowed anything, did everything from scratch, and he's got over 50, 55 lorries right now, all over the world. And just learning from him, you know, and taking it in. And every time I speak to him and see him, just the little things, you know, he never ran a marketing ad, never ran a marketing campaign. But you have to remember, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, the world was a different place. So we have to adapt to what we have. And right now what we have is we have the internet, we have the marketing campaign, so we need to use them. So I'm going to get on with the day. Hope you have a great day, and just keep going, you know, keep strategizing, take that time to plan, think about things. And that's, I think, what's helped me in any of the businesses that I'm doing now, is the planning and the strategizing and the taking a step back, because I didn't used to do that. So take a step back, have a think, have a walk, and keep growing.